Player who I feel like he doesn't show up quite as often these days, but every time he does, I mean, he makes huge runs. Got like 3rd place at Cav Clash a couple months ago, pretty much out of nowhere. So,
but the issue with Generic is, unfortunately, he plays 2 characters that kind of get dismantled in terms of the game plan by Wolf. Right, the Reflector makes it very difficult for Diddy to get his banana setups, and he does have the Young Link in the pocket, so that does not fare much better. And it feels like right now, Dexter is already starting to set up a very convincing lead, forcing Generic to the edge of the stage quite early.
Yeah, so right now, I mean, Generic just hasn't been able to get anything started, hasn't been able to hit a single one of these bananas. I mean, Dexter, Wolf is pretty good at avoiding those because you got the Reflector, and you're just going to play super grounded.
Oop, and then running up, looking for that very aggressive up smash. I respect it, but Generic going to be able to shield that out, is able to recognize that situation well enough, but he can't get any of these projectiles to stick. The Peanut and the Banana both falling short. Dexter finds the back throw to take the stock.
Yeah, it's going to do it. So he's looking good. Got a little bit of a lead here in game 1. Finds that grab.
Low percent combo looking really good for Wolf.
Yeah, Dexter, not usually the kind of guy to like extend super hard and go for one of the crazy conversions. He's just going to take his guaranteed damage and he's going to get back to neutral because he likes playing neutral.
And it sets the conditioning as well. He wants to see what you do out of those initial combos. He doesn't need to go for 4 or 5 hits. He can just go with 3, see what you do afterwards, and then be ready for the punish when you do that you do that escape option again.
And that is really, like, that's his game, is just on reaction, being able to find stuff like that down smash, taking the stock, establishing a very strong lead.
Ooh, now he had the banana in hand, was using it very effectively. Now taking control of it as well. Feels like he's getting fair to forward tilt, angled up. Beautiful conversion here from Dexter, feeling so comfortable, going for the stipple stuff, and he's still able to grab the banana from such a long range that Generic just cannot use his own projectile.
All right, Dexter off stage. Generic finally has a chance to make something happen here, but Dexter just fights his way back with an air, ends up running into that up smash, so does lose his stock.
But an incredible lead still here for Dexter. 2-1 lead, and now Generic is getting closer and closer to kill percent. As we reach back air potential, Dexter is starting to look for it, but isn't going to go wholesale on it just yet. We're waiting for a little bit more damage before we really start looking for it. And there it is, that little bit of damage just happened as I was giving that whole spiel. And Generic just falls prey to the back air yet again here on ledge.
Dexter looking strong, Generic shaking his head a little bit, trying to get his head back in the game. Now, this is a best-of-5 set, so Generic is going to have a little bit more time to adapt, and we're going to see what he can come up with.
Yeah, best of 5 just means you have more room to play with. Generic has another game to kind of figure things out, but Dexter is not a player that really is predictable in that regard. Like, he has such good set longevity. He's able to hang out for long periods of time and still do a lot of the same stuff, even on a more linear character like Wolf. Like, you know what Wolf is looking for. He has the same BNBs, he has the same win cons, he has the same kill options. It feels like you know what Wolf wants, and yet it just feels like he's always able to get what he wants, even if you know what you're expecting.
Yeah, I feel like Dexter definitely plays the kind of game where he's just going to go for, like, the high percentage thing as much as he can, right? Like, he's going to just play a very solid fundamental game, and if you want to beat him, you have to rattle him out of that fundamental game, and Generic has not really had success doing that yet.
Right, and the mix-up potential really comes into Dexter's timing. It's like, it really is like, okay, you're going for the same options, but they're timed differently, or they're ordered differently. So it's like, yeah, you'll do fair, bear, that's fine, but like, you could also go for an early bear or maybe a later bear. You can find an up air into a bear. There's so much like Dexter can do with his timings that can mix up Generic enough to keep this interesting.
And right now, Generic has been able to hold on to the stock just because he's been able to escape with the monkey flip. We're on here on Town and City. But the problem is he just keeps getting hit, and he's not really finding openings. He's going from corner to corner right now.
And again, yeah, he's like kind of playing this will he, won't he play style where he like kind of dashes out, then dashes back in with an option. But he's he's blinking first, he's swinging first, and Dexter is ready to whiff punish a lot of these situations. Generic is just kind of playing like he knows he has to play super well against Dexter. He knows the pressure is on.
Yeah, found a nice little DI mix up there with the down throw into the up air, but didn't end up taking the stock, and he's going to lose his stock to a dash attack.
All right, and then we down tilt to back air. This is going to be a nice raw back air for Generic to take the stock. And this is extremely competitive in this game, too. The longer stage so far has worked out for Generic, which is, I mean, it could be a boon or a bane for any given opportunity. But against Wolf, I think for Diddy Kong, it should work out in his favor.
Yeah, this is looking much more competitive right now than the first game. Generic's actually got a little bit of a percent lead, although certainly not something that Wolf can't make back in a second. But Generic's actually just going to keep extending that lead.
Okay, but hitting the banana on shield and Dexter grabbing it immediately in a jump out of shield feels like he's ready for these out of shield options. Generic just isn't able to put the pressure on long enough for Dexter to falter in disadvantage or defense.
Dexter finds that grab. You know he's playing confident when he's finding grabs. That's a pattern that I've definitely seen. That's the first time that reflector has come into play.
It is. I feel like Dexter has been holding onto it for a little bit, and now we're starting to pick up on the timings that Generic's going for, but that's just going to be a cruel end to the stock, and the game giveth and it taketh away. Generic loses the stock, and Dexter extends a lead.
Yeah, a bit of a miscue, and now you've given Dexter a chance to really run away with this. Finding that dash attack, building up damage. Doesn't have to go for anything crazy here. Just keep playing your game.
A couple trades here that are a little bit odd and awkward, but Dexter finding the lack of a tech here on the stage, and it's just going to be another down smash. He's gotten really good leverage off of that situation in both this game and the previous game.
Yes, yeah.
Two very vital stocks taken because of that option.
And visible frustration from Generic. I mean, he was still talking well after that game was over. So we're going to see if
he's not tweak. When he talks, I don't listen.
I guess so. I mean, if you're Dexter right now, you just got to see through all the talking, right?
True.
Like I said before, just keep playing your game.
But we're going back to Town and City, and that's going to be huge here because we did have a much more convincing game, as you mentioned. I feel like that's a credit to the stage pick. Generic still sticking with the Diddy Kong. I think the Young Link obviously is not going to come out to play in this set for good reason.
Pretty much retired at this point. I can't remember the last time I saw it.
Has to be, yeah, at this point. Like, we are so comfortable with the Diddy Kong, and yet we are forced into this situation where the down throw of the banana completely seals the stock.
All right, so Generic, though, not going down without a fight. Unfortunately, had to give up that ledge trap to go get his banana, and he kind of struggled to actually get the pickup there.
Yep. But that looks like an early attempt at a kill. It's still on Town and City. You got to remember where you are.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen here with the high ceilings and the above the ledge side B. You don't often see that from Dexter. Might have been maybe unintentional, but it could have been aggressive. It could be intentional.
And Generic is, I don't know if you've noticed, Generic has started playing super fast. He's just started throwing stuff out, and there's that up smash is actually going to work. I think he sort of recognizes he's in a tough spot right now, and he's going to have to do a lot to bring it back.
He definitely does. So sometimes I will say, like, when he plays Young Link, sometimes it's the same thing. He can turn up his APM very quickly. Like, his actions per minute are elevated to a different level. He feels like he's got to mash a little bit more and still do it intelligently, right? That's the goal here. But you find a trip on the banana enough to get a grab, an extension here and there, but the monkey flip beat out by the blaster. He's still got banana in hand. He's keeping more control over the banana than he had in the first and second game.
Yeah, so was able to bring this much closer than it seemed like it was going to be after Generic lost that first stock really early.
Yep.
I feel like, he is playing much faster, but it's also a little bit more jittery. So he goes for that jump when maybe he should have just been a little bit more patient, and Dexter was able to find that back air.
He went back to ledge.
Yeah.
He went back to grab ledge, and he let Dexter get a free edge guard potential. It just felt like Generic is just letting Dexter kind of encroach on his space too frequently.
Yeah. And now we've had a couple of situations where it feels like Generic has put himself in worse positions because he has to grab the banana.
Right there, because he ran forward, and it's like there wasn't even a banana on stage, and he felt like he had to run forward and do something here.
Yeah.
But Dexter forced a ledge, gets a roll in, and we have a grab here, but Generic unable to extend past that. He gets a throw and no combo afterwards.
Yeah, Dexter is looking at a, he was looking at a triple 2 stock, but then Generic finds that banana forward smash. Cursed it before it even left my mouth.
It's okay. Happens to all of us. And right now, it's happening to Generic. The turnaround, not enough. Dexter going to get grabbed here, but he gets a grab of his own. A blaster to try to cover high, but Generic goes low. Generic now almost looking for the banana throw, but Dexter so quick with the get back in.
Dexter finds that down tilt. Oh, there's no jump here. Generic able to find his way back anyway.
Uh-oh, Nair out of neutral.
We got an off-stage situation here at the ledge. Generic's making something happen.
Oh, and then the high recovery, that could be, what is the air dodge? What are you doing?
It almost worked because it put him in a great position to punish that roll, and he's actually still going here.
It's okay, yeah, we still get the Z-drop banana, grab it again. I mean, what is he doing? He's just like, he's Z-dropping banana, but he knows Dexter's not gonna get up during that, so he just does something else, but we finally find it. Dexter loses it out to the up smash, and a perfectly played edge guard, or really cross-stage edge guard, really, from Generic.
And the funny thing about Generic is that he reacted just as frustrated looking as he did after he lost game 2.
He knows that was a sloppy win.
That's the attitude he's going into. Just like, I have to be playing better than I am right now. Got that game, but yeah, definitely been a little sloppy.
Bit of a perfectionist.
Yes, for sure.
Bit of a perfectionist, and will not accept less. Right now against Dexter, you can't accept less.
Yeah, and he's still talking to Dexter, and Dexter is not returning the favor. He's just sitting there stone cold.
Dexter is a statue sometimes in these sets. He looks so cool as a cucumber. And Generic wears his heart on his sleeve and his mouth and his facial expressions and everything.
Just two different ways of approaching the game. Both of them have their merits. Both of them have their disadvantages. Sometimes I wish Dexter could find a little bit more fire, and we're going to see if he can find it to close out this set.
But as long as it's not Tuesday, he won't SD.
Well, don't speak too soon.
I'm going to curse him right now. I'm sorry in advance. All right, but we're waiting for something here. The blaster won't catch any of these lower edge guards, but great barrel placement from Generic so far. It's a grab on the dash in. Can we get more here? Oh, good dash back. Perfect spacing here for Generic, knowing that the dash attack is coming out. Extremely intelligent play.
Yeah, so things looking pretty even right now. Generic at the percent where he might die from the next hit. That dash attack not quite going to do it.
Oh, will we get it? Oh, but the grab.
Just wasn't ready.
Yeah, was not ready for it. And then the forward tilt is going to seal it out. Generic losing the first stock. First blood goes to Dexter.
Yeah, and it was all just because he went for that grab just a little bit later because he reacted too late. One of the hardest things to do in this game is to recognize when you're already too late to get the punish and to just back off and not go for it. Because if you go for it, you're going to get punished.
Right. That's tough. That's the gamble that we place sometimes. Quick aerial throw on the banana, and that's enough to kind of keep Dexter put on his back heels.
Yeah. I feel like Generic's solution to what Dexter was doing to him in the first couple games has been just to mix up his aerial movement as much as possible, but now Dex is starting to get a read on it.
It's not just that, it's also smothering Dexter.
Yeah.
He's also making sure that Dexter doesn't have the chance to throw up the reflector on the projectile throws. He's making sure that he's not able to deal with some of these anti-aerial situations that he should be most comfortable with. There are no up tilts from Dexter. He's losing the first stock, and even though Generic is behind, it feels like this could turn on its head at any given point.
Yeah, so Generic right now trying to fight his way back. Just like last game, had a deficit early, but oh wow, what awareness to just grab from Dexter there.
Oh, with a ledge slip as well?
Yeah,
You'd love to see it. Generic pulling out all the stops to try to mix up Dexter. We find the Z-drop on the banana, and now as Dexter runs right into another trip.
Generic finds the up air.
Oh, the spot dodge, it was perfect.
Wow.
And now he's able to get the stock because of it. That's crazy.
Generic's got a lead. He's trying to bring this to a game 5. It seemed like he was going to lose it in 3, but the momentum has just completely shifted.
All right, we have one more option. The B reverse able to get Generic alive a little bit longer than the cross their stage. Like, yeah, you know Dexter's looking for that dash attack. Holding there on ledge for way too long.
Yeah. So Dex finds the forward tilt. We're on last stock, even percent. And we're going to see who can get these first bread and butters. Looks like it's going to be Dexter.
Is the turnaround grab looking really good. Another one of those potential ledge not grabs here for Generic that is able to mix up some of the movement. Make sure Dexter's never able to really pinpoint the next move at any given point. Has to keep things kind of interesting.
Yeah, Generic was doing a good job catching those landings, so Dexter started using that forward air to fight his way down. That's been a little bit more effective. He's off stage now.
Oh, okay, we get the banana toss. That's enough to kind of keep Dexter forced to go for another upbeat, but very smart awareness, is able to react appropriately.
Yep.
Dash attack forces him off of ledge, and again, this is so dead even, but Generic almost looks like he's gonna go under the stage, but he doesn't. Still, it's not enough to save him here.
Anything could happen here. Forward tilt's not going to do it, but you got to figure that the next one by the ledge will. Up tilt, not quite.
I mean, Dexter not at the percent where Diddy Kong can really confirm anything. And there's no kills that are really possible, but we throw out something here. 166 full rage on Diddy Kong. Maybe we can get something here. Down tilt to up smash. It won't kill. It won't kill.
Next one will, though, and the banana's here.
The banana's here, but the reflector is still a huge factor, and you gotta respect it because at the very clutch moment, Dexter's gonna throw that out and take the set.
It was clear.